let's get this thing started with the pledge. Is that good? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Looks like everybody's here. All of our seats are full anyway, so roll call's good. All right. Do all the kicking off with all the fun stuff.
All right, yeah, the fun stuff, my favorite part. All right, we have Miss Alicia Parrish here that she's going to hand out this award here in a minute. This is our Bus Driver of the Year award that we are giving out to in honor of Bob Parrish, former driver within our district, and his son happens to be on our school board. And brought his mom because he misbehaves sometimes. So, but this is our fault for not giving this out at the Teacher of the Year banquet, which we will do in the future. But we want to make sure that he gets the honor that he deserves. So, Ms. Parrish, I'll let her hand this out to our winner.
We were waiting to clap for the award winner. I know you were expecting some applause.
Matter of fact, I'd like to just kind of find a hole. This is to honor Bob, and the recipient is a great guy. Can't say enough about him. Our family really, really likes him. My dad know him and everything. It goes to Chuck Schuler.
Get off that.
Not a problem. So.
Can I say a few words about?
Absolutely.
Please, yeah.
Only a few, Chuck.
Back in 1992, I was a coast-to-coast truck driver, and I got off the road to see my daughter through high school and into college, and came over here to go to school bus driving job. And my very first run, I subbed an afternoon route, and that was before the PAC building, for the small gym building. We parked on the west side. That was bumper to bumper. A little bit of upgrade, and of course I was nervous first time, you know, a little apprehensive about the first day on the job. So little bus I had a 5-speed standard transmission in it, and so I put it up in first gear, what's called granny gear, because I wanted to make sure, you know, because they parked the buses bumper to bumper, and I didn't want to mess up. We didn't have radios, so when they let us go, I let off the clutch and let off the brake. And then my semi-truck up here was first gear, and that bus, that was reverse. And Bob Parrish, I didn't know the man at the time, was right behind me. He had a flat nose bus with mirrors that stuck out in front, and I busted both his mirrors. And I started to get out, and he just waved me on, so I run the route, came back, just knowing I'd lost my job. And he already had his bus in the garage changing the mirrors. So I parked and went in and thought, man, I hate to face him, but I just went and grabbed a 19.6 wrench and started helping change the mirrors on it. And he didn't say a word about it. And when we got it done, I walked over to apologize to him, and I know he knew I was coming to apologize. He didn't give me a chance. He really sat and shook my hand and thanked me for helping him with the mirrors. That was my very first impression of Mr. Bob Parrish.
And I got to hear it when you came home.
After all these years, even today, that's my impression of Mr. Bob Parrish. He was a great man. He never said a word about what I did. If I needed advice about driving a bus and handling the kids, you know, I'd go to Bob, and everything he told me, it worked out. And he knew what he was doing. So this is an honor
Well,
for me,
it's very deserving.
and it's humbling for me, because in my opinion, every year is always Bob Parrish Bus Driver of the Year. Thank you.
So, well.
school without good bus drivers. So it's a very important aspect. Every year we have, I don't know how many students participate in track and field in the whole state of Missouri, but quite a few. Normally track is the largest sport with participants. If you finish in any event in the top 8 of the state, you're considered an all-state athlete. So we brought several of those in here today. Honored to be able to recognize them. So I will do one group at a time. Our boys 4x400 team placed 3rd in the state. That's Dominic Navin, Miguel Mora, Ryder Martin, and Adrian Short. Please come on up, gentlemen.
Yeah, I got to wait on them.
Don't be nervous, Tom. Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job, guys. And we have certificates that we will give to them, to their coach probably next week. And that, the time was really fast, but it was a new school record they received. Good job, guys. They did it with just 3. Our girls 4x200 team is also, they also received a new school record with their time. They are,
Jelly.
same wrong, Arena Nurka, Sammy Dowd, Dakota O'Brien, and Angelica Alicorn. You're a wrestler too, so if they beat you, you tackle them. Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job, ladies. Another school record, I don't believe she's here. Dakota O'Brien got 3rd place in the javelin. And one more all-state category, Sammy Dowd again, 7th place in the 100-meter. Then she also got 12th place in the 200-meter.
That's how she does when she's injured. Yeah.
She has to stand.
Yeah.
Her hips hurt.
And in my opinion, probably one of the most difficult ones, Angelica Alicorn got 15th in the pole vault. You want to stand up? And Miguel Mora got 12th place in the 800. Just the fact that they got to go to state is a big accomplishment, and then to finish the way that they did, I think that's really awesome, and they really represented all of us in a positive way. Them as well as your coaches, your families, everything. So great job, all of you. I'm done, tired.
That's it?
You're up.
All right, let's see. Next on the agenda is public comments, which I don't think we have anyone registered. All right, then we got a lot of consent items, so give me a second here. So for consent items, we got the agenda, the minutes of the May 8th meeting, the minutes of the May 15th special meeting, bills for the month of June, reconciled bills, the finance report, big resignation and employment list. Everybody looked, enrollment dropout withdrawal report, transfer of funds to Zero Teachers Fund, CSIP update, federal programs update, health program update, A+ program review, PAT evaluations, the AMI plan, early childhood calendar, brush hog renewal, plus route miles, second reading of policies. So everybody looked at that, and then of course the final one's the approval of the consent items. So I think employment at least maybe there's a withdrawal or something, but obviously it's 5 pages, so I think everybody looks good. Everybody's good. All right, any questions, conversations on the consent items?
Same comment I had last time on the board policy, the revenues for investment. I really like the old policy better than the new policy. The old policy's kind of got a framework. The new policies go forth and invest our money as you will. Not that I don't trust Dr. Finley, but just carte blanche, invest it. I mean, there's nothing in there about like coming back to the board and making sure we're good with it. It's just have at it.
Alright.
I think we should, before the final reading, I think we should discuss it
Next
a
one will
little
be the
more.
final.
Which is next month,
Okay,
so
okay.
we may talk about that between time and.
Okay. Alright, yeah, good call. Alright, anything else? Alright, then I will take, approvals or nominations for that. Alright. Second from Kitty, all those in favor? Nope, not me, sorry. Opposed? And abstaining. There you go. Alright. Sorry, Kathy. You good on counts?
We're good.
I totally messed you up. I totally raised my hand. All right. Makes us good on consent items. Let's go to old business. Looks like Will is coming to talk about bond projects. Exciting.
So I wanted to give you an update on the asphalting that's been going on. Henry Sapp and Sons are set up. They've mobilized at the high school. They've done the back. I don't know if you had the opportunity to see it. I know Mr. Shutton has done a good job getting it out there. They've done the backside. They're going to do the teachers parking tomorrow. Anderson Elementary is supposed to start up tomorrow with the other contractor, and then they are also finished at Pineville Elementary. They're going to come in and bring striping in tomorrow. We'll come up with a plan for that, and they're doing dirt work currently at White Rock, and then after White Rock they'll go to Southwest City. From Southwest City they'll come back over to the academy. So things are moving along. They kind of, the weather slowed them down some, but they've done a good job. They have enough people to get it done pretty quick. So yeah, I think those projects have been going well. So,
Do they plan to have it done before school starts, all of them?
yes, yes. Yeah, right now if we're moving I wouldn't be surprised if, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're done by the end of the month. It's moving pretty quick.
Takes them about a day to get it ready, and then about a day to pour it. Southwest City may take a little longer to get it ready though, because it's significantly larger.
I think they had about 10 people. Once they get moving and they can actually just lay it down and not have to pack it and tamp it on the sides, they can get it done pretty quick. So, all right.
All right. Yeah, I saw at least I saw the one between the baseball field and the ag farm. It makes a big difference.
Sure. You don't realize how much you saw before.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah.
realize how nice it is.
Absolutely. All right, I guess we will move to new business, and looks like Miss Brewer's got a couple here, but looks like you are up first.
All right, our first
You
item
bring them all
is,
up.
yeah, come on
Hey,
guys, come up here and stand. Yeah. This is our science research class, pretty dedicated kids to come up here in the summer and talk about an experience that they want to have. Of course, you know, they traveled down to partner with the Dauphin Island Sea Lab during the school year last year. Didn't miss, you know, class, but they've arranged it this year where they can do it before school starts, so our teachers would go on their time and our students would go on their time before school starts. And I'm gonna let Mr. Jones jump in and tell you a little bit more about that.
So the, after last year, Dr. Kraus, they really liked the partnership that we.
They were very
that we
impressed with
very
our kids
impressed with.
and
Um,
district.
So they would like for us to come back. We've been kind of working on this really since the beginning of the year. So there'll be a few changes to it. We'll stay actually on Dauphin Island instead of last year where we stayed at Biloxi. And last year we worked with Mississippi State on some stuff. This will be 100% working with Dauphin Island Sea Lab. They're continuing some of the projects from last year that we started, and they are adding in a few new ones. There are a few these young ladies on the end that are interested in birds, and so they've figured out a way to make that work for them as well, so they're adding in some stuff there. And then the second part to that is one of Dr. Krause's colleagues, Dr. Shannon Davidson from University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa. She's an education researcher, and she likes what we're doing, and she's wanting to start working with us, kind of developing sort of a really,
Professional development
yeah,
model.
some professional
really.
development model, yeah, to get more teachers around the country interested in doing this sort of thing. So the dates are August 7th through the 11th. I think we're at the point now that if we're not fully funded, we're just almost there. We want to do a little bit more fundraising over the summer because I just like to always have extra, but you guys have any questions for me?
I was gonna say, just only question, and I don't know if they were taking a bus, but the only question I had is I saw one of them obviously is not a teacher in our district, but a teacher in Joplin,
Yes.
and so I didn't know if there was anything insurance-wise we needed to worry about, since especially if we're taking one of our buses.
I don't,
We did discuss with her about our funds would not pay her way.
Sure.
And she's Tyler Putney's wife. She is a teacher.
Yeah,
She's not.
and-
Sure, yeah, that wasn't them.
And her going is partly because she's Mr. Putney's wife, but also with this, this peak professional development that we've got in the works that, honestly, at this point, if I could get every teacher to go to this stuff, it'd be great.
Could we potentially do a hold harmless agreement with her?
yeah, we need to look into that, because I know that she would not be covered on our buses.
Right.
And so
Things happen.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We could talk to music and I think they have some forms we can look at.
That's my.
because she would be a good asset to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prevent them from having to take a second vehicle
Just want to make sure everybody's covered.
Yep,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
on both ends.
Yep.
Right.
So I would say approval up on us getting that worked out, or we will get that worked out. I'm not concerned about that.
Yeah, you guys.
So you all have earned the money to go on the trip?
Yeah, they've been doing some fundraising starting just about the time we got back from the last trip. And so at this point, I think, I would have to sit down and do all the math up again, but if we're not there, we're almost there, and it's just a few, couple car washes or windshield washes away, and I think we'd be in good shape.
Mr. Jones is very adamant about the kids earning
Yeah.
their money.
Good.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's why they're all standing here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
And Kitty, you may not know, their work last year was published.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if you're aware of that.
It was very impressive, some of their stuff they did last year. Very impressive.
That's what I love about these partnerships, is I think it gives these kids a leg up on going out, writing scholarship applications and that sort of thing. You know, everybody's gonna write about mom or dad being their inspiration, but very few people can write about actually doing marine biology work in the Mobile Bay.
It's quite a compliment for a school to be invited back.
Yes.
Is this a group that got the Make Learning Come Alive?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Some different students, but yeah, this is the project that won the Making Learning Come Alive.
That's a big deal too.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
All right.
With the,
How we said that
Is that a
one.
motion or John, a question?
The motion.
Seconding Bob's motion.
With
with the,
approval through our insurance company,
Right.
how we gonna work that.
All right.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah. All right, Kathy, you go with that? Motion from Bobby, second from John. All those in favor? Unanimous.
When do you guys leave?
August 7th, early in the morning.
7.
7th.
7th.
So come back on 11th, and then teacher's first day is the next day.
Perfect, that'll be nice and peppy.
Yeah.
You'll be the first speaker that day.
That would be
We'll set that up.
So do we get posters again?
Eventually, yes.
Good luck. Have fun. Congratulations.
Enjoy your trip. Enjoy yourself. Have a good trip. That's awesome.
Way to look smart. Way to look smart. You did a good job.
Ms. Brewer still in there.
Seems like she's.
Teachers the next day.
You said you're smiling, so I guess summer school's going okay.
Summer school's going great. Yeah, knock on wood. Yeah, so Dr. Finley asked me to give a little bit of an update on summer school. I'm in charge of that for the district, and then I'm also the principal at the high school for summer school. Some changes this year, pretty significant changes. We chose to not use Catapult as a partner this year. Instead, wrote our own framework and our own curriculum. So that was probably the major change. The calendar, 20 days, June 2nd through 27th. We had a work day also on May 30th. The other thing is students are Monday through Friday. So, there was a little bit of the groaning on the first Monday, but, it's 20 days. We can do it. Yeah. 8 to 3. We don't have summer school at every site, but most sites. Every student has access, but we have the high school, Anderson Elementary, Knoll Elementary, Knoll Primary, and White Rock. And then Anderson Middle School is hosting junior high weights only. We use typical summer school transportation routes like you that have been on the board may have seen in the past, and for you guys that are new, they're fairly close to a home route, but not exactly. So they may have to go a few stops over, but they come close to picking up kids at their homes. Everyone is free lunch and breakfast for all students and staff. That's through a program that Sandra writes a grant for. Students are still able to earn their attendance incentive. So it's $100 if you come every day, $75 if you miss 2, $50, and then at 3 days you get nothing, and in the high school you earn no credit. So you've got to come. We're going to have the attendance cards picked up this year instead of mailing them. We've had some issues with mailing them, and just also with us running it ourselves instead of Catapult, we think logistically this will be a good thing. So we're going to do July 23rd, 24th, 25 at the student's home site. So if they go to Rocky, they'll get it at Rocky. If they go to Southwest City, they'll get it at Southwest City. We'll give the lists to them. They'll have the cards there. And then after that, they would have to wait till school starts. But, some of our people really look for those for back to school, and the kids are, if they're not looking for them for back to school costs, the kids are dying to get their money, and so we wanted to get them out there as soon as we could. Lots of field trips. The high school went to Crystal Ridges on Friday, had a great time, took 350 high schoolers and had a really good time, no issues. I know our elementaries have done local caves. They've taken them golfing. Some of our kids never get that experience. They've taken them to the Springfield Zoo, splash pads, lots of great experiences. Something that's really different this year that's been very positive and I think will benefit us for years to come, we have started the junior high weights program, and we're doing transportation to that too. And that's up here at the middle school and using the new weight room. And they've been averaging about 100 students a day going to that junior high weights program. So that's all your kids that feel like they want to play a sport, whether it's football, basketball, track, whatever it is, and they bus them from the sites up and back. Or parents can also drive them if they want to. And then our high school weight sessions too, they have at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10:30. Those are about 175 students a day. Including, they also have contact days. Each sport has a certain number of contact days that they can have. White Rock Junior High partnered with the high school drama department, and they're going to put on a play that the elementary students can come and watch. We gave that opportunity to everybody. Some just couldn't make it work logistically with how they were running their summer school, but White Rock was able to make that work. So they're going to put that on together at the end of summer school, and the others can come and watch it. And then currently, the first 3 days, this is just the first 3 days number. Our average number present for the district was 1,453, and last year it was 1,438. So we're up a little. And so I'll be working with Marcy, and we'll run our ABA numbers on Friday this week and try to start kind of comparing those two so we can get those to Dr. Finley so he can know how that will shake out in terms of funding and what we get there. But I've been checking in with all of the sites. Principals, very positive. So if people are unhappy, they're not communicating it on. So, yeah, I can speak for the high school. Definitely, it's been positive. We've had a good time. Kids are plugged in. There's a lot of credit recovery at the high school. Driver's ed too. We're getting new drivers every day. You know, kids getting their permits. That's been a good thing too. So, yeah. What questions do you have about summer school or anything I can answer?
I hope we need the ADA, don't we?
We-
Are we at a reset year?
This will be good.
This will be good. We're also not paying catapult.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we get to use our own curriculum that we did pay. You know, our taxpayers, you know, dollars pay for our curriculum that we purchase, and so it's probably good for us to use it. So that's been good.
Awesome. Okay. No more questions? Do we need a motion on this one? No? All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Awesome,
Yeah.
thanks, Andy. All right. What's coming up? A little less exciting than Angie's, but.
Yeah, it's definitely less exciting. A lot more necessary evil on this one. The trash bids. So we had two companies put in bids. What I would propose, or I'd like for you all to consider, is that we have EPCO pick up trash at this site at the admin office, as well as Knoll Primary and Southwest City, and then GFL would take the other sites. EPCO, they didn't bid on all of them. The ones they did bid on, they were the most competitive. So that's why I would like for us to accept them. They've done this one for the last 2 years or just one.
It's just this year, wasn't it?
No, it was yeah, he's been doing it. Yeah, actually, I tried to. So he's been doing this 2 years. Does a good job. GFL has done a good job for us as well. It's nothing there, but if you just look at the dollar amount, it's the most cost effective for the district. So I would propose that EPCO would get those three, and then GFL would get the other sites for trash pickup.
Makes sense. Questions?
Did these go up any?
They did, and so last year, I think overall it's less than $100 difference. So I mean, it's comparable, but they, a month, $100 a month, so.
Good question. I got a motion from Andy, second from Bobby. All those in favor?
Thank you guys.
I knew you were coming.
No issues. Slow on.
You're a little slow, but I got it. I saw the intent.
You got these.
My bad. This one's a little more exciting. The city of Anderson has come to us, as well as they're working in cooperation with MoDOT for sidewalks in Anderson. They would have, they're looking to see if they could do an easement from Bellevue, which is where the old Anderson Junior High was, that side right there. Clear it out with a sidewalk, ADA accessible sidewalk, as well as over on Grandview by the new safe room, and then it would go down, it would cross the road to the other side on Grandview, and then come back Elm Street where our parking lot is. It would go up that. So essentially, it's going to go all the way from Bellevue up and around Grandview, and then on up to Elm Street, and then it would loop on around, and that's really not our problem. We can set that way.
Oh, yeah, you got a map? Yeah.
There's a map that yeah, he can pass around with the sidewalks, and it would be ADA accessible. One thing they've talked about is one area right there in front of Anderson is making that more ADA accessible than it is, because right now it's not, and helping out in some areas there as well. I do think it's something that would benefit our community, and I think it helps our kids as far as getting a safety and a place to walk on their way home.
Who's paying for it?
They would be paying. Well, it's a MoDOT grant is what it is, through the city.
I thought the picture you passed is that, I know you said there was one that you guys were having to kind of go
So-
back and forth with them.
Yeah, you want to explain this?
So right there in Grandview, right on the front there, in front of the elementary school, there's that crosswalk that goes across the side there. Our proposal is that the sidewalk would stay over there. However, with the
We
crosswalk,
only have one pass.
they would need a easement so they can make that ADA accessible on into the elementary school. Because currently it is not. So they have the drop off and then kids have to kind of step down. So what they would do is they take that area and make it ADA accessible.
Where that little retainer wall is there?
Yes, yeah. So they did want to go all the way down it, but we've talked to them about staying on the other side, but they still felt like if they had that easement, they can make that ADA accessible into the elementary school. When they explained that, it made good sense that way. It would be beneficial to get that smoothed out where it is more, I guess, correct for the public. Any questions? Then
So, let me explain.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. The way the engineer explained it today was the easement really is just the area for the handicap accessible areas. Because the sidewalks, the one, by coming up that one road is on us, everything else is not even on us, except for the handicap accessible areas. And that's what they're looking at doing.
On the ones on Grandview.
Right.
Yeah. That one on Bellevue, it's where the old Anderson Junior High was. They would also, where we drive the maintenance trucks into the back to get to the playground, that would be an 8-inch area and it'd be sloped. So we could still get our vehicles. And that was one thing we said is we have to have access back here. So they understood that, and it would be heavier. It'd be more thickness of concrete, just so it could withstand weights. So
You have a timeline?
they did not give me a timeline. And the way I understand it, I did not hear this from them, but I've heard through other places is that this has kind of been something they've been working on for a little while. So I don't necessarily have a timeline, Bob. That would,
Sounds like a win for the school at no cost.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. I mean, when I walked it and when we walked it and stuff, it wasn't anything that was impacting our day to day, and it would help our kids get to where they need to go.
Okay.
It's not good.
I'm assuming if it's a grant or something.
I think
It's
they're still
probably a little
doing some
slower
of
then.
the easements
Yeah.
above on that other side of the elm.
I'm sure they'll work with us, I guess it's like, is it something that'll be pretty disruptive if they're trying to do it? Like, is it something we
During
prefer,
school.
they need to do it during our
Especially,
off?
right. Yeah, because there's two that are basically part of our property, two of the handicap areas. So yeah, it'd be significant.
And the mayor of Anderson was very receptive to
That they work
working
with
with
you
us.
guys, yeah, that's
And cooperating with our needs.
Okay. That sounds good. Any other questions? So I know we talked about this one before, but I'm guessing do we need any provisions on our approval as far as for you guys to work through stuff, or you guys feel like we're good with how we are?
I feel like our relationship was good with them. They were, I don't know, do we need to modify anything?
The only one that would be, that Grandview piece, we may have a more conversation, because the way it looks is that sidewalk is closer to our side, and we may want them to maybe have a little more clarity that it's gonna be on that other side. But after talking to the engineer, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. And then it's divided up into other sections. I believe there's 4 total.
You know, there are 4 total.
Those other three didn't seem to have any, I saw nothing that was concerning on those. The Grandview piece, we may see if they can kind of reword it, re-show it, just for clarity.
But I think that's something, I guess you will, or even Dr. Finley or whatever can work out with them. I just wanna make sure we give you guys a motion so you guys don't have to come back and have another conversation. You guys can work that out.
Easements, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, and then let them work out the details. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just wanted to make sure, yeah. All right, well, if no other questions?
I'll make a motion to
Oh,
approve.
I was thinking, wow. My motion, Bob, second from Kitty. All those in favor? That's good.
Thank you, guys.
You got the rest of the show here.
It's gonna get boring in here. So, yeah, I'll make a resolution to amend the end of our year budget numbers to actual numbers. We'll have to do that with our audit when they come as well. So, it's a yearly.
Yeah. Any questions on that? I mean, I guess at least other than Kitty, I've probably done this a few times, but questions, Kitty, on what we're doing?
Not yet.
Okay, all right. I need a motion from Dennis. Second from Bobby. All in favor?
Okay, now I'm gonna read this statement. This is what we will, and I'll give you the numbers afterwards. McDonald County R1 School District Board of Education, under authority of Missouri statutes, does hereby authorize the transfer of up to the maximum of 7% of the district's line 1 calculation for the school foundation entitlement, district guaranteed energy cost savings contract, and transportation from the general fund to the capital projects fund. These funds will be used for transportation, to make lease and performance payments. It is further resolved that any funds that are transferred but not expended in a current year shall be retained in the capital projects funds for the purpose of funding additional classroom space, as well as other improvements including parking lots, HVAC, roofs, and safety and security at the following locations: Anderson Elementary, Anderson Middle School, Pineville Primary, Pineville Elementary, Rocky Comfort Elementary, Knoll Primary, Knoll Elementary, Southwest City Elementary, White Rock Elementary, McDonald County High School, including athletic facilities and grounds and fields, Mustang Academy, Bus Barn, maintenance or transportation facilities, what it should have read. I know what you're thinking. Maintenance building and a district central office building. So let me get that number for you here. That number is $2,452,757. That's $1,950,819 from the SAT and WADA, and $501,938 from transportation. It comes to a total of $2,452,757.
All right, what about on that one? Questions, comments? All right, guess I'll entertain a motion for that. Motion from Bobby. Second from Andy. All those in favor? Unanimous. All right.
Trust fund.
Numbers on that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you give me those?
That was one of the sheets out of six.
I know. It's not these two, is it? Yes, it's not those two.
The last one you picked up.
That's the budget there. Okay, transfer placement of classroom trust fund to Fund 1 and Fund 4 for 25-26. Classroom trust fund is $747,621 and what's the other name? Okay. There we go. Okay. I should have had you read these. Okay. The amount to go into Fund 4 is $1,091,161.90, and Fund 1 is $747,621.
questions on that one? City clears mind.
Saw that look, didn't you?
You get that way sometimes too.
I don't know, I mean, we can give her like quick of all on what that is. I mean, I know it's
We can only transfer money one time a year per statute into Fund 4. That's where we'll transfer money.
I'm learning school finance next Tuesday.
Missouri school finance is the worst state to be in for finance. So,
alright. Questions, comments on the motion?
I'll make
Is that a
a
motion? Alright, motion from Bobby. Come on, John. Second from John. All those in favor?
okay, approval of the budget for next school year. Like I sent out earlier this week, we don't know our revenues yet. We don't have our information from our state auditor yet. We won't get that until early August. So we are approving this off of last year's income, although we have added the majority of our expenses. So we've added our new salary schedule and our new stipends that you've approved. So the numbers are going to look a little bit off, although we are significantly in better shape than what we anticipated with not even adding our new revenue for next year. So with waiting on the governor's signature still on some final numbers to be tallied. Now, you all, get one of these.
It's attached.
It's attached, yeah, it's the last,
So-
last attachment.
It gives you, and if you look, even if we keep our revenue where we're at, we're at $66.5 million in revenue, and our expenses we're only at $54,659,000. So we're still netting almost $12 million right there. I do think our revenue is going to increase a little bit with our taxes, with what as long as the governor still signs what he says he's going to sign. So I think that's going to be even a larger net. I say profit. When if you see the fund balance under 21%, that is inaccurate, and that's inaccurate because all the numbers have not been sent in with our revenues and with our taxes.
I have a question on that. So on the fund balance is where it says capital. Is that our Fund 4 balance?
Yes.
Where it's negative or tiny? I guess I'm confused on this since this is the first time we've seen it in this format.
Yeah, it's a new format. No, that's our capital money is what we've been spending for our construction costs.
Oh, sorry, John. Yeah, it's in the, you're talking about in the first pie?
No, so like if you look below the pie.
Oh, down in the.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
guess.
Yeah.
So where's our Fund 4 balance in here? I guess is what I'm trying to find.
Well, that's where we're just transferred a bunch of money, and those are things that are not put in there yet.
Well, I know, but we've got a bunch of money in there already though, that we haven't spent out of.
Yeah.
It's showing a big negative number.
That's showing negative.
I mean, it's got a big negative number coming out of it, but it's still showing a tiny number compared to what it should be.
Oh yeah, I see it.
So I mean, should that 9.4, should that have come out of the debt service account? Is that where maybe it's off? It shouldn't.
You know,
The way I'm looking at it is not all the revenues are in there, because we have not added revenues because we don't know it. So those revenues aren't added, but yet our expenses, if you look on the second page, it says expenses by object fund, capital projects has your expenses at $10 million. Your revenues only have $1 million in because we have not added any of our revenue lines in there yet.
I guess I'm still confused. Josh, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think you're looking for what's just the Fund 4 number.
The Fund 4 number, yeah. It's greater than that 1.4.
Yeah.
And until we get our revenues put in there, it's probably gonna look like that.
We haven't spent out of that though. Fund. I guess that's where I'm
It's
confused.
projected to be spent though.
Carried all of our expenses over as they were from this year. Some cleanup to the, we've not added any revenues for next year. So while the expenses have carried over, no revenue, so that's why it's upside down right there at the moment.
Well, I think on John's question, because we may be using capital, because I mean, because I don't know if capital in this tool means, like, we're thinking like capitals and fund for like our capital spend budget, but I mean, I guess there's other things that's capital that's not necessarily fund for, so.
Yeah, I guess
we may be crossing terminology on it.
Because our Fund 4 balance is pretty healthy, and that's what we've been wanting to get a committee meeting together to spend, and I guess.
And this is 26, this is not our current year, so that's why it looks weird. This is next year's.
But I guess that's why I'm confused, but we've not spent any money out of that. Like, there's money we've looked at and talked about spending, but we haven't spent.
None of it's been transferred over yet either.
We haven't transferred.
25 to 26.
So it's like only part of it has rolled over.
Oh, we
Get
have to
everything
transfer the
moved over here.
2025 to the
Right.
2026?
Yes.
So as soon as you guys get confirmation on the revenues, you guys can actually like lock it in.
Right.
Oh,
Okay. I mean, no, I think it makes
makes
sense.
more sense.
Yeah.
That's still silly, so like, it'd be like having to close out your savings account and move it to.
Right.
Okay, I
This
can.
right here is part of the problem, because we have new balances.
It's difficult because we're going to a whole new format.
Okay.
No, I think.
So when
once
you guys were
once
saying
you guys
revenue,
get to
I'm
use-
like,
I mean, once you get using it, it's gonna be awesome.
Right.
I love the visual, it's a lot easier to look at.
I was looking for.
What we want to do too is at the end of August, we're going to approve all three.
Yeah.
And it doesn't carry
Okay.
that, so that's.
And just go through it,
So
yeah.
we-
Yeah.
So with the intent of approving it, then
Okay.
reapprove it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That makes me feel better, because I was looking at it going, I feel like I'm crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So, look, we should be ready by September to adopt it. Which would be happy to correct numbers.
Oh. Thank you, I feel better now. I knew I was reading it wrong, but I'm sitting here going.
I knew and I wasn't sure how to explain it, but then I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, and I'm guessing once we get to use this tool for like multiple years, and maybe they don't yet, but I'm as they mature, I'm sure they'll have some stuff where you can see like year over year. I mean, it's just a matter of like using it long enough to get it in there.
Actually, whatever we'll be able to do that now. We'll be able to go back and.
As soon as you guys get, when 6 gets, or, yeah, that makes sense.
And Kathy, all these are reflective of the 2% raise.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I like the, I mean, it'll be nice whenever it's all locked in, but I like the visual.
How do you know which one's which? On the visual.
What do you mean?
Well, it says what it is down here, but then it's in colors up above, and this down here is not in color, so how do I know which one is which?
It says right above the pie, right up on top of it, it says it.
Excuse me?
Right up here, you've got your expenses and your revenue.
Well, I can read that, but down below, there's no, it's color coded, but it's not, maybe I'm colorblind. But all of these down here are in black and white, and up here they're in color, so.
Yeah.
I don't know which is 13%.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because like if you're looking at the expense pie, you have to go down.
Well, the same as the revenue.
To the expense by object and fund, but it's not color coded. I mean, the titles are the same, but it takes a little.
So I have to go down and investigate and find one
And
that
what I'm
matches.
looking at, when we look at it on this, when we're able to share it, I'm seeing that it populates, because I see what you're saying, there's no color code to say.
Or little like arrow things.
Like the purple is other local revenue, the teal would be our federal monies, the kind of orange color is the state money, and the pink is county, and the blue is local.
It's not Robert, it's mine.
Yeah.
Okay, do what you want.
What'd you do?
You falling apart over there, like.
Bob Tanner's computer.
Like. Like some
Oh,
technology
it's
reading to there.
colorblind.
I was looking over here, I just heard it. Okay, all right. I know you asked questions about 2%. What other questions?
Just the statement, and John and I and everybody else has talked about this on the coaching stipends. We have got to look at those lower grade coaches. And we also need to look at choral people. And we're getting a huge disparity between head coaches and everybody
Who
else.
decides all that?
There's
We
quite a
did.
difference, quite a variation.
It's a huge disparity between head coaches and everybody else. And we've got to fix that at some point in time. I'm not knocking athletics. When anybody sends me an email, we are getting a huge disparity because there's a lot of people that put in a lot of time.
I think, so I've kind of looked through them, I've kind of heard that was an interest. So I kind of compared the Big Eight, and, you know, years ago, a comment was made that, hey, we want to lead the Big Eight in lots of ways, right? And so when I started running those, there's the spring sports. If I look at the Big Eight, the spring sports do lead. Everything else, you're looking at normally 2, 3, sometimes 4, where we would rank in the Big Eight. So, you know, where those percents come from, so there's a spreadsheet or whatever that they can kind of, they help you out and tell you some different stuff. We're setting very comparable to where other schools in the Big Eight are. Now that's not, I don't know on Neosho's and Webb's and Carthage and Carl's, but the Big Eight, we do actually set those percentages come up, like Aurora, for example, they're actually, for some of their stuff, it's 25% of the base, and I think for our head coach is the 22 for the Big Three. So some of that came up from the time that was created. I will say, after looking at it, I really do believe that our maybe an area that we need to look at and definitely put numbers to figure out time would be that 5th, 6th grade. We didn't have a measurement because other schools don't have, they didn't have anything to compare with. But they did have junior high and they had high school, and when we did compare those, it wasn't as drastically different as it felt when I was looking at it initially. So I think the spring sports and band and summer weights, we led those, and then after that it drops to the 2, 3, and 4. And really it was the Aurora, Cassville, Monette. Those were the 3 that kind of we were fighting with as far as where we're landing.
So I have a question. So is that based on the amount of time that you spend with kids after school, or?
So I think it originally came to, and I don't know who really came up with it, some of these schools that were doing it. I think they originally based off of a little bit of, okay, how much time is spent, how long the season is, how many kids are involved, and also to what level are you coaching? Is it you know, and that one's a tough measure there. You know, to say one's different than the other, or one gets more eyes on it than another. But I do think that was probably a factor too. Because when I look at percentages, you know, basketball, football, and baseball ended up being a little bit higher than others. Not our school, I mean just in general when they did the percentages. So like, we're not the only school that does percentages. I think looks like Monette, Aurora, Lamar, and Seneca all do percentages. Nevada does a flat rate, East Newton does a flat rate. Oh, and Mount Vernon also does percentages. I just can't see them. So,
You know, I might be wrong, but it looks to me like if this is just sports stuff. That doesn't include other areas, teachers
teachers
or other programs that spend an enormous amount of time with their kids, and they get a little bitty stipend, and they're spending like all year instead of just one season. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Am I
and
making
depending
sense?
what the
Am I
area
missing-
is, I mean, yeah, no, it certainly does.
Well, let's say
That's-
he's an ag teacher.
Ag teachers, now what they do, and this is different than when I was an ag teacher. Used to, it was 12 months, so really what you were getting paid is, even though my salary was different because I was getting paid 12 months, so it was already a third higher than others. Now they do not only that, they also have an FFA stipend. So they get in addition to, they get a stipend as well. So, you know, some places will do stipends for like, you have a team that qualified. Not very many do that, but now a lot of them are just a flat rate for an FFA stipend. And then they also have, if you're a head, if you're the head department head, you have another
But the
stipend.
dollar amount is based on a 9-month or a 10-month or a 12-month contract. You know, you say that they make more money. Well, they do because they work 12 months and not 9 months.
Yes,
But then
And-
when you
and they
back
get a
up to
stipend.
that stipend,
but they get a stipend also
Sure.
in now. And used to, like when we were there, we didn't do the stipend. That's come about. Like I don't know what it's. Some of them do percentages. Some is 11%. Most of those are flat rates. But I will say, you know, the goal of being number one in everything, and that was not that long ago. As far as the Big 8, we are number one in pay. Teachers, our base pay is number one.
well, what does that get us?
What does it get us?
Yeah, to say we're number one in Big 8 in pay. What does
Oh, that was just something that the board had talked about wanting.
Hopefully, we retain teachers with it.
Right, that's the hope, is that we're competitive.
That
I
was the
mean,
goal behind it, is
because
to
it
win
was-
the battle for,
we were,
to
for a
keep
long
teachers.
time, yeah, for a long time, we weren't. And so I do think there's merit to, I mean, we pay our, I think our teachers are well compensated in comparison to the field. Are they all undercompensated? Yeah, probably. But when you're trying to measure and run the business according to other schools, we're certainly going in the right direction. And I really thought at one point, and we said it years ago when they came up with this percentage, that at some point we're probably going to have to look and see when that percentage outmoves itself and have to stop.
But
it
I hate to
hasn't.
play the fair game.
I started something.
Well,
But it is,
I
it's just that huge disparity between our lower coaches, and you notice we have so many openings in those lower ones, nobody wants to do it. John pointed out, you can make more keeping the gate than you can make coaching.
Well, and actually, when we look at gate, that's on there too, and we pay less on gate than everyone does.
Right. And it still pays more than
Yeah.
coaching.
I mean, but I do think, I mean, we can run a analysis or whatever you want as far as ranking assistants all the way through to junior high. Like I said, 5th, 6th grade, I don't have a measurement because I think we're the only school district that does
That
5th,
has
6th grade. But I can run, a ranking and just rank them top through 8.
Well, and I know, I don't know, well, I mean, I know we did this for a while, but I mean, I know when we did this, I mean, obviously we knew we were behind on coaches, but I know, like we looked at any of the extras, because I believe we're number one in choir, or we're really close, or we were, at least last time we looked, so, or we should be toward the top, because I know we looked at all extra duties. I don't know if we did the percent with all, but I think in most we did.
It is a percent, that one is as well, yes.
At some point in time, though, that's gonna have to become a static number and stop raising every time we get a pay raise. Because that is killing us as far as being able to give raises to teachers now. Does that make sense? Because we
Yeah,
got
we
a
figured that
lot of
time would
people in the
come.
coaching.
Yeah, and that's when this came out
And we were way behind, Will, when we
Yeah.
did that. And I'm part of that. I mean, I was on the board.
But that's what did surprise me is we're still not I figured we'd be way ahead.
Like leaps and bounds ahead.
We're not as high as, I figured we'd be blowing, I figured we'd be.
Well, I'm guessing, other school boards are doing the same thing we're doing, trying to figure out how to kind of,
What are we at?
Well, there's a lot of competition for good teachers, good coaches, regardless of what you're good at. There's a lot of competition for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've got to stay.
We're definitely tasked with
We have to
finding
stay
the
in the
balance
game.
that's not always easy to balance.
Kind of hijacked that one a little bit.
No, it's okay. So there's a lot of numbers in there, like.
There's a rock under my side.
Well, it's okay.
That's kind of bothering me about that whole thing.
If you're looking for your salary increase, it's still 0.
You tell me what you got last year. Well, Bob, it does me too. That's why I mentioned it, kind of, just, I don't know.
Yeah, not to harp on it, but I'd like to see like a clear formula for it, how they're come up with, because it looks like the, you know, like if you're the 9th grade boys football coach, you're making less a percentage than an assistant varsity coach.
Because, yeah, less games on that one. I mean,
Well, so I would look at it like you're the coach, you know, like
Right.
compared to somebody that's just helping with varsity.
a lot of them are, but if you look at the measurement of the season, less games and not having to go to, you know, I mean,
Is it less
it's
practices?
long, less season too. Yeah, it's, I mean, it's freshmen get done before the rest.
Is the game different from shorter than this?
Shorter games, I guess. I
You
mean,
don't have shorter games.
Football?
Freshmen.
Time's on junior high.
Is what,
Oh.
same or?
Okay, it's like, I mean, I'm old now,
I
so.
don't know about freshmen. I don't.
No, it's
Good
not.
question. I don't know. I haven't been there.
I need to argue all accuracy.
You ain't got nothing yet, buddy.
I might have 2.
Hey, I turned 40.
I got you beat.
Well, I understand, it's just that, I think this, it's just not fair to everybody. Somehow, and maybe it's not a fair world.
Any other questions?
Oh, I'm just getting my report ready.
Okay.
Hold on, Bob, you got a sidewalk on. Hold on.
Thinks I'm kidding. I got a report to read.
You got a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion from Bobby.
What is the motion?
You gotta
To
approve
approve the
all this
salary
stuff.
schedules and stipends.
The proposed budget.
Can we, on, it's Bob's motion, but. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead and say. I mean, we. Do it.
No, he's already made a I'm just uncomfortable with approving something with numbers that aren't right in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to come back for actual anyway, because like.
Yeah, we did it last year.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we.
Yeah, We're gonna have to eventually know what our budget is.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't.
So we know
Well, once we
what
get those
they-
revenues
So
locked in.
we're approving it contingent on. Is that part of the?
Let's say it's the approved budget and, or the proposed budget. Pending the actual numbers whenever they come in.
There you go. All right. Yeah, yeah. All right, so updated motion from Bob, still second from Dennis. All right, those in favor? Opposed?
I want the numbers before I vote yes on it.
Okay, all right. There you go. 6-1, all right. And then, foundation, that's you.
So the foundation, we did not have a meeting this month. Our meeting date bumped up against 8th grade promotion. We had 8th grade promotion, so we didn't meet. We've got a couple things going on this month. The school foundation is meeting with Lazy Boy for potential donation / photo op later this month. And then we did receive the annual check from the Ray Clark family. They're using that for the baseball program for arm strengthening equipment. I'm not sure we're going to meet this month, but we're working on scheduling a meeting in July.
Right. Sounds good. I think you're up.
Yeah, tomorrow is the preliminary audit. They'll be down here tomorrow. June 13th is retirement reception for Jimmy and Larry at 1 p.m. at Mustang Academy. June 16th and 17th is the MSBA Summit in Branson. I believe Andy, Josh, and Kitty will be down there, is that right? Then June 27th is the last day of summer school.
Working fast.
That's all I have.
That's it. Anything else we need to say? Everybody good? All right, Mr. Andy. I guess
Make a motion, we go into closed session per section 610.021, 1, 2, 13.
Motion Brandy going closed. Second from Bobby. All those in favor? All right.
We're not going? All right.
Yeah, I guess we're going. All right.